Chosen one, stop for a moment and let your spirit fully register what is happening right now, because nothing about this moment is random, casual, or accidental. You were not scrolling mindlessly, and you did not arrive here because of chance, habit, or curiosity. This message was timed, measured, and released by God with surgical precision, reaching you at the exact point where your soul could finally hear what heaven has been saying quietly all along. Divine timing does not rush, and it does not explain itself, it simply arrives. And when it does, it carries weight. The next 72 hours are not just days passing on a calendar. They are a divinely charged corridor where time itself is being rearranged around your destiny. God is not merely allowing time to move forward, He is altering how time functions for you. What once felt delayed is now being repositioned. What once felt blocked is quietly being loosened. What once felt invisible is beginning to press toward manifestation. These next 3 days hold a spiritual density that magnifies awareness, intention, and alignment. This is why your spirit felt a pull to stay, to listen, to not skip ahead. Watching until the end is not about obedience to a video, it is about completion. In the spiritual realm, completion releases authority. Awareness seals timing. Engagement is not performance, it is consent. When you declare readiness, when you consciously receive, when you choose presence over distraction, you are signaling to heaven that you are aligned enough to be entrusted with what is next. Heaven responds to permission, not pressure. God has already scheduled encounters, realizations, emotional releases, and subtle interruptions within these 3 days. Moments that will seem ordinary on the surface, but carry eternal consequence underneath. You may notice time feeling strange, emotions surfacing unexpectedly, or a quiet seriousness settling over your spirit. That is not anxiety, that is significance. God does not announce destiny loudly, He confirms it inwardly. This is not a warning meant to create fear. It is an invitation meant to awaken discernment. You are standing inside a prophetic appointment, one that was written long before you were aware of it, and how you position yourself internally during these next 3 days will determine how smoothly what is already in motion is allowed to unfold externally. Nothing is being forced. Nothing is being rushed. Everything is being aligned. Before God ever changes circumstances, locations, or outcomes, He always sends an internal signal, and if you are honest with yourself, you have already felt it. It may have started quietly, an unexplainable restlessness mixed with calm, a sense that something was changing even though nothing around you looked different. Your reactions may have softened. Your tolerance for certain people, conversations, or environments may have decreased. Things that once excited you may now feel empty, while things that once scared you now feel less intimidating. This inner movement can be confusing because the mind wants logic while the spirit responds to truth. You may have questioned whether this was imagination, emotional fluctuation, or fatigue, but something deeper kept confirming itself without words. That confirmation is not emotional, it is recognition. Your soul recognizes divine timing before your mind can articulate it. These next 3 days are coded, layered with divine intention that only activates when awareness is present. This is why this message resonates instead of sounding strange. God is not introducing something foreign, He is reactivating something familiar. He is aligning His original blueprint for your life with your current reality, correcting subtle misalignments that developed during seasons of survival, pressure, and misunderstanding. Confusion was never evidence of failure, it was a symptom of transition. When God begins shifting internal identity, things feel unfamiliar before they feel aligned. Old desires lose power. Old fears surface briefly and then fade. You are not losing yourself. You are shedding versions of yourself that were built to survive environments you are no longer meant to remain in. Recognition is the first gate. Once you recognize that something is shifting, resistance begins to dissolve. And when resistance dissolves, clarity rises naturally. You do not need to force understanding during these days. You need to observe yourself gently. Notice what no longer fits. Notice what feels lighter. Notice what feels strangely obvious now. These signals are not small, they are precise. God always announces destiny internally before he confirms it externally, and right now, your spirit is remembering what your mind is just beginning to catch up to. This is not the beginning of something new. It is the return to something original. Do not misinterpret the quietness of this season as inactivity, delay, or stagnation, because silence is one of God's most trusted environments for creation. Everything living begins hidden. Seeds split underground before they ever break the surface. Stars form in darkness long before they illuminate the sky. Even you were formed in secret before you were revealed to the world. Right now, there is a deep, precise, and intentional movement happening beneath the visible surface of your life. You may not see evidence yet, but you may feel pressure without panic, anticipation without anxiety, or a stillness that feels different from emptiness. That is incubation. God accelerates silently so that outcomes emerge stable, not chaotic. This is why you are being trained to trust spiritual perception over physical proof. Sight demands evidence before belief, but spirit recognizes truth before manifestation. What is forming now does not require effort from you. It requires patience, restraint, and trust. If God revealed everything at once, interference would follow. Silence protects precision. You may notice that conversations slow down, plans pause, or external momentum quiets, but this is not regression, it is focus. God removes noise when alignment matters. What is being constructed now will not need explanation when it appears. To others, it will seem sudden. To you, it will feel inevitable. This is hidden acceleration, movement that does not announce itself but cannot be stopped. Silence is not absence. It is strategy. And strategy always precedes permanence. Chosen one, understand this clearly. This message is not arriving merely to comfort you or make you feel seen. It is arriving as an alert from the spiritual realm. The next 3 days carry weight not because something threatening is approaching, but because something significant is converging, and awareness determines how cleanly that convergence unfolds. Heaven is paying attention right now, not in a way that creates fear, but in a way that signals readiness. The spiritual realm responds to consciousness, not perfection. Angels are not dispatched because you did everything right. They are released when alignment appears. During these next 72 hours, awareness becomes more powerful than effort. This is a shift you must recognize. You are no longer being asked to push, strive, prove, or fix. You are being asked to notice. Notice what you allow into your mind. Notice what you speak casually. Notice what you give emotional access to. Awareness acts as a gate, and gates determine flow. This is why these days feel different, heavier, slower, more intentional. Time itself feels like it is asking you to move carefully. Heaven is not rushing you, but it is counting. Every moment of presence strengthens alignment. Every moment of distraction weakens clarity. This is not punishment, it is precision. God is refining your internal posture so that what enters your life next does not have to be corrected later. The weight you feel is not pressure, it is importance. These days are not meant to be filled with noise, reaction, or emotional volatility. They are meant to be held with reverence. When you choose stillness over impulse, You create room for divine order. When you choose awareness over anxiety, you allow redirection to happen effortlessly. Heaven does not need you frantic, it needs you attentive. This is the countdown, not toward loss, but toward alignment. And alignment always determines the quality of what follows. God has always worked through patterns, and the number 3 carries a spiritual language that signals completion, confirmation, and manifestation. These next 3 days are not symbolic poetry, they are operational time. Day 1 is recognition, where truth rises quietly and illusions lose their grip without confrontation. This is the day where awareness sharpens, where you begin to see what you once tolerated clearly, and where internal honesty becomes unavoidable. Day 2 is preparation, where subtle internal adjustments finalize themselves. This is when distractions begin to lose appeal, emotional reactions soften, and discernment becomes instinctive rather than forced. Day 3 carries manifestation, not necessarily loud or dramatic, but undeniable. This is when internal alignment begins to reflect outwardly through decisions, encounters, clarity, or movement that feels natural rather than forced. During these 3 days, your thoughts are not idle, your words are not neutral, and your emotions are not insignificant. They're forming the next layer of your reality. This does not mean you must control every thought or suppress every feeling. It means you must guard alignment. Doubt disrupts frequency not because it is evil, but because it fractures focus. Distraction interferes not because it is dramatic, but because it scatters energy. Stillness, however, preserves momentum. These days are delicate not because they are weak, but because they are precise. Precision requires calm. Precision requires restraint. Precision requires trust. God has already coded the outcome, but you are responsible for the environment in which it unfolds. Treat these days with intention, not fear. With reverence, not rigidity. What is being set now will not need to be reset later. As these days progress, you may begin to notice something subtle yet profound happening within you. A quiet release of weight you had grown so accustomed to carrying that you forgot it was there. Emotional burdens begin to loosen. Old triggers lose their immediate power. Thoughts that once spiraled now pass through without attachment. This is not emotional shutdown. It is emotional recalibration. Healing has matured into restoration. You are no longer just processing pain. You are integrating wisdom. The valley you endured was not wasted. It trained your discernment, humbled your expectations, and refined your values. Now, that endurance is producing return. Restoration does not always announce itself with celebration. Sometimes it arrives as calm without explanation, clarity without effort, and peace without closure. You may notice that memories surface without emotional charge, or that situations which once provoked fear now feel manageable. This is evidence of internal authority being restored. God is not simply removing pain, He is restoring capacity. Capacity to trust again. Capacity to choose clearly. Capacity to move forward without dragging yesterday behind you. This is the double portion that follows endurance, not because you demanded it, but because you survived with integrity. Emotional recalibration feels like balance returning to the nervous system, like safety becoming internal rather than conditional. You are no longer bracing for impact. You are no longer scanning for threat. You are learning to rest while moving. This is not regression. This is regulation. And from this regulated state, clarity becomes effortless, decisions become cleaner, and alignment becomes sustainable. Chosen one, understand this clearly. What God is doing in these days is not meant to be obvious to everyone around you. And that is not because it lacks power, but because it requires protection. Divine camouflage is not delay, it is strategy. To the outside world, your life may look ordinary, even uneventful, but beneath the surface, God is positioning you with precision. This is not a season for performance, explanation, or validation. It is a season for placement. God is building a ladder quietly, rung by rung, aligning timing, authority, and visibility so that when you are revealed, nothing can destabilize what has been established. Public exposure before internal stability creates collapse, so God conceals what He intends to sustain. You may feel unseen, underestimated, or overlooked during this phase, but that is intentional. Silence is your shelter. Privacy is your covering. You are being trained to find security and alignment rather than applause. This is the shift from needing to be noticed to being properly placed. God does not display what He has not finished forming. When the time comes, what is revealed will speak for itself, requiring no explanation, no defense, and no validation. What was whispered in private will be demonstrated publicly, not through effort, but through undeniable alignment. This moment has arrived not because you chased it, but because preparation has finally met opportunity. Destiny does not always announce itself dramatically. Often it arrives disguised as something small, subtle, or even inconvenient. A conversation that lingers in your spirit. A realization that shifts your perspective. A decision that feels obvious once it is made. These are divine collisions, moments where time, purpose, and readiness intersect. God's fingerprint is rarely loud, but it is always consistent. During these days, pay attention to what feels significant rather than impressive. Heaven often uses simple events to create lasting impact. Waiting was not wasted. It layered wisdom, patience, and discernment into you so that when opportunity appeared, you would recognize it rather than mishandle it. The delay protected you from premature exposure. Now, alignment allows access. Destiny is not about speed, it is about timing. And timing is now converging with you. As alignment deepens, you may notice a strange shift in how time feels. Things no longer feel rushed, yet movement continues. Effort decreases, but progress remains. This is sacred flow, the transition from striving into rhythm. God's timing, known as kairos, replaces chronological pressure. You are no longer forcing outcomes or proving worth. Instead, you are being carried by alignment. Decisions feel clearer. Boundaries feel natural. Emotional steadiness replaces urgency. You may feel protected without knowing why, guided without needing explanation. This is what happens when divine rhythm replaces human anxiety. You are learning how to move without friction, how to trust momentum without panic, how to rest without stagnating. Sacred flow is not laziness, it is synchronization. And once you enter it, you realize how much energy was previously wasted trying to control what was never meant to be forced. Chosen one, as these days unfold, you may notice that your inner world feels unusually sensitive, almost as if your spiritual senses have been turned up rather than calmed down, and this is not instability, it is upgrade. When God increases clarity, He first increases sensitivity. Your intuition sharpens before circumstances change. Dreams may become more vivid, symbolic, or emotionally charged. You may wake up feeling like something was communicated to you without words. Your body may respond before your mind understands, tightness releasing, fatigue followed by sudden energy, emotional waves that rise and pass without explanation. This is your nervous system adjusting to higher light. When truth increases, the body recalibrates to hold it. Old fears may surface briefly, not to torment you, but to be evicted. They rise because they no longer belong. What once hid comfortably in confusion cannot survive in clarity. You are not regressing, you are detoxing. Emotional pressure does not mean something is wrong. It often means something is being reorganized. God upgrades internally before he allows external evidence, because capacity must precede responsibility. If blessings arrived before expansion, they would overwhelm rather than bless. This is why sensitivity increases before manifestation. You are learning to feel without reacting, to notice without spiraling, to sense without fearing. Spiritual maturity is not numbness, it is discernment. These upgrades may feel uncomfortable because familiarity is being replaced with truth. But once the adjustment completes, what once felt intense will feel natural. This is your system learning how to function at a higher frequency without strain. There is a profound shift happening now, one that marks the end of striving and the beginning of synchronization. You are no longer chasing the future. The future is responding to your alignment. What once required force now responds to awareness. This is why effort feels unnecessary and even exhausting when misdirected. God is teaching you that alignment produces results more cleanly than effort ever could. You may notice a growing disinterest in distractions, habits, conversations, or relationships that once consumed your energy. This is not arrogance or isolation, it is precision. Your calling requires focus, and focus naturally eliminates what does not belong. When alignment deepens, appetite changes. What once felt urgent now feels irrelevant. What once felt tempting now feels heavy. This narrowing is not loss, it is refinement. God is conserving your energy for what actually matters. You are learning how to manage energy rather than spend it emotionally. Discernment sharpens not because you became suspicious, but because clarity made incompatibility obvious. This is the season where trying harder no longer works, because effort is being replaced with embodiment. You are becoming the version of yourself that no longer needs to chase what is already aligned to meet you. Alignment is quieter than effort, but infinitely more powerful. As awareness stabilizes, you will begin to notice confirmation increasing, not in dramatic signs meant to impress you, but in subtle repetition meant to guide you. Numbers may repeat. Phrases may echo through different sources. Themes may appear across unrelated conversations. These are not coincidences, they are nudges. Heaven prefers whispering to shouting because whispers require attention. God does not overwhelm you with noise. He trains you to trust subtlety. You may feel gentle prompts to pause, to speak, to refrain, to move, or to wait. These instincts will not feel emotional. They will feel calm and certain. This is discernment maturing. Behind the scenes, invisible arrangements are being made, connections aligning, timing adjusting, resistance dissolving. You are not responsible for managing these movements. You are responsible for staying aware enough to cooperate with them. Participation in divine timing does not require perfection. It requires presence. You do not need to understand everything that is happening. You only need to honor what feels aligned and step away from what feels forced. Confirmation increases when trust deepens. And trust deepens when you learn to listen without fear. Chosen one of the most misunderstood signs of divine movement is peace, because the mind expects proof before calm, but God often gives calm before proof. As these days unfold, you may notice an unexpected stillness settling into your inner world, not excitement, not emotional highs, but a grounded sense of quiet certainty that does not need explanation. This peace is not circumstantial, it is internal. Nothing may have visibly changed yet, but something has shifted permanently inside you. That is because you have crossed a threshold, not externally, but internally, where old attachments, old needs, and old survival patterns quietly release their authority over you. Thresholds are rarely dramatic. They feel like subtle closures, like doors gently shutting behind you without noise. You are no longer emotionally negotiating with the past. You are no longer seeking validation from places that once defined you. The urgency to prove, explain, or be understood begins to dissolve. This peace is not passive, it is evidence. It is proof that something irreversible has occurred in your internal alignment. When peace arrives before manifestation, it signals that resistance has been removed. You are no longer fighting timing. You are no longer wrestling with identity. You are no longer bracing for loss. You are standing in a new internal posture where trust replaces vigilance. This is the crossing. And once crossed, you cannot return to who you were, because the nervous system, the heart, and the spirit have all updated their understanding of safety. This is why peace feels unfamiliar at first. It belongs to a version of you that no longer needs to survive. The season of silence you walked through was never punishment, even though it may have felt lonely, confusing, or unfair at times. It was protection. God hides what he intends to preserve. Seeds grow in darkness, not because light is bad, but because exposure too early would destroy formation. During that quiet season, roots were growing where no one could see them. Identity was being stabilized without interference. Motives were being purified. Strength was being built without applause. This is why revelation comes after hiding, not during it. Breakthrough that arrives too early collapses under pressure, but breakthrough that arrives after gestation carries weight and longevity. What is emerging now is not reactive, it is mature. You will notice that when clarity arrives, it does not demand announcement. When alignment settles, it does not require explanation. Redemption comes without revenge. You no longer need to prove who is wrong or justify what you endured. Your life becomes the response. God reveals publicly what he refined privately, but he does it in a way that protects your peace. You are not stepping into visibility, you are stepping into embodiment. And embodiment speaks louder than any announcement ever could. One of the most damaging lies the enemy plants in aligned people is the idea that they are late, behind, or have missed their moment. But hear this clearly now, your timeline was never broken. It was protected. What felt like delay was actually divine correction, gently redirecting you away from timelines that would have cost you more than they promised. In this season, old timelines are quietly expiring. You may notice that certain fears, comparisons, or regrets no longer hold emotional power. That is because their authority has ended. God is restoring clarity, not just opportunity. You are beginning to see how loss redirected you, how rejection shielded you, how endings repositioned you. Restoration does not bring you back to where you were, it brings you beyond it. And it often exceeds what was lost, not as compensation alone, but as confirmation that God redeems fully. New blessings arrive with divine shielding now, protected from premature exposure and unnecessary interference. Rising feels effortless because resistance has been removed at the root. You are no longer repeating cycles, you are transcending them. The correction has already happened. You are standing in the adjusted timeline now, chosen one, even when the earth around you felt quiet, uncertain, or uneventful. The spiritual realm was anything but inactive. Formation does not announce itself because it is not meant to be interfered with. In these days, something is being sealed rather than started. Doors are opening without noise. Alignments are finalizing without fanfare. God is marking you in a way that cannot be erased by opinion, circumstance, or opposition. This is not a season of becoming, it is a season of being established. The mantle of purpose does not descend in chaos, it settles in stillness. Identity is being anchored at a deeper level than emotion, ambition, or external validation. You are being formed into someone who belongs to purpose, not pressure, to assignment, not anxiety, to calling, not comparison. This marking is internal before it is visible. It changes how you carry yourself, how you respond, how you discern. You no longer feel the need to explain your decisions or justify your path. Authority is stabilizing quietly within you. What God is sealing now cannot be rushed, replicated, or reversed. It is heaven authenticated. This is why distractions feel heavier now, because they no longer match your weight. This is why certain doors close without drama, because they are no longer aligned with who you are becoming. Formation is complete when resistance ends, and right now, resistance is dissolving. You are not stepping into purpose. Purpose is settling onto you. What appeared lost was never wasted. God does not restore minimally, He restores multiplied. In this season, compensation does not arrive as spectacle, but as alignment so clean that it feels almost effortless. Time that seemed stolen by delay, confusion, or endurance is being returned in compressed form. Harvest follows silent sowing. What you planted in tears, obedience, patience, and restraint is now responding to timing. This is not an explosion, it is a shift. Explosions fade quickly. Shifts last. You may notice momentum returning without force, opportunities aligning without chasing, clarity replacing urgency. Calling replaces striving. You no longer pursue validation because purpose sustains you. What returns now does not pull you backward, it carries you forward. Restoration is not nostalgia, it is upgrade. You will not be asked to relive what hurt you to receive what belongs to you. God compensates in ways that preserve dignity and peace. What arrives now will feel right, not overwhelming. Earned, not borrowed. This is divine economy at work, where alignment produces return and obedience yields acceleration without burnout. Chosen one, hear this final truth and let it anchor deeply within you. You are not waiting. You are already moving. The shift you have been sensing is not approaching, it is happening now. These 3 days are not temporary moments of inspiration, they are transformational thresholds of alignment. Divine timing cannot be delayed, canceled, or sabotaged when awareness is present. What God has initiated will complete itself as long as you remain surrendered, attentive, and willing to trust what you cannot yet see. You do not need to force outcomes. You do not need to prove readiness. You do not need to fear missing anything. Destiny is unfolding with precision. Your role now is simple but powerful. Stay present, stay aligned, stay receptive. Let peace lead. Let clarity guide. Let awareness protect. What is meant for you is already responding to you. And as these days pass, you will realize something profound. You did not step into alignment. Alignment found you. This is not the beginning of something fragile. This is the continuation of something inevitable. Destiny is not coming. Destiny is unfolding now.